Jenny Luo from Taiwan Plus. Today we're talking to an award-winning director, Anne Chu, whose latest film, Tuo Tuo, just won this year's Sundance Asia Short Film Competition. Welcome and congratulations.
Hi Jenny, thanks for having me. I'm An, the writer and director of Tuo Tuo. Tuo Tuo is about a young man who is having a military leave, and so he goes back to a deer farm in the mountain, which is owned by his family. During the trip, he realized that the deer which cured his childhood illness and also basically grew up with him is going to be sent away to a slaughterhouse. It's kind of like everything changed, but there's nothing else he can do.
So what is the message of this movie?
I think I'm not sending any messages to the audience, but I'm just trying to genuinely convey my feelings and my mental status when I was in the military. Because during that time, my grandmother passed away, and she kind of like raised me. I spent most of my childhood time with her. So for me, it's kind of like saying goodbye to the past. During the time in the military, you have to contribute your body and your time to the government. So for me, it's kind of like stuck at the present time. Also for the future, I don't know, at that moment, I don't know what to do. I'm still like figuring out stuff. So it's just like a very weird and awkward moment for me, just trying to convey those feelings through the film.
Yeah, when I watch the film, I can feel the sense of confusion and
Definitely.
a sense of hopelessness.
Yeah.
Because the visual is a bit gloomy in that sense.
I do talk a lot about the color correction with the colors, trying to make it like bleak and dark,
Yeah, I can feel that.
which match the mental status of the protagonist.
Does the plot reflect your real life experience?
I would say, because for me, I I didn't grow up in a deer farm, but I kind of put my personal experience and my feelings to that environment. So I would say half and half. My dad, he knows a lot of deer farmers because he used to take me to the Pinning County a lot. And we used to camp there and swim in a lake. And there are like 7 or 8 local small deer farm. So before making Tuo Tuo, I kind of like visit the farms and knowing the culture, what's their like daily life routine, everything.
So is that why you choose deer, not other animals?
Yeah, I think it's because of my grandma and my dad. My grandma is a big fan of antler powder. Like he likes to buy a lot of like Chinese medicine through like radio station or like the local shop, and antler is like one of them.
So did you also take some antler powder when you were a child?
My grandma didn't feed me any antler powder, but she feeds me some growing up medicine, like 长高药.
Apparently it worked somehow.
Yeah, I think so. When I try to write a story about the relation with my grandma and my dad, I just have to do more like field research, go back to the deer farm. Like you say, it's mainly because of them.
In the film, you can see the antler being cut. And one scene is that one of the guys whose hair was being shaved at the same time.
Yeah.
So does these two scenes relate in any way?
Because for the deer, their entire life, they're basically kept in a cage. They still have their wildness. It kind of like match the mental status of the character, the protagonist. When the antler is being cut or the hair is being shaved, there's no choice. Like, you have to do it.
So in that sense, Tuo Tuo actually is the protagonist himself, right?
You can say that, like trying to put themselves together. But I'm very glad you sense that, because that's also my intention of doing that.
In this film, we don't really see a lot of interaction between the protagonist and the actual animal, Tuo Tuo. Why is that?
I think I did use a very short flashback to show that at the present time, the deer is already sent away. And we can see, like when he visit the farm, like Dongzhen farm, like the Tuo Tuo is kept in the cage. Initially in the script, he actually run to the cage and see if that's Tuo Tuo. But after talking to the farmers, we know that they are very used to the life and death of the deer. It's like a very natural rotation for them, because every day there's a deer born, and some old deer, they cannot grow any more antler. They have to send to a slaughterhouse because there's no economic value anymore for the farmers. So I think after talking to them, I tend to let the the character just stand aside and watch everything happens because he knows there's nothing he can do.
Because I think naming an animal gives you a special connection to it. So I was just curious if only Toto has a name and other deers don't have names.
They do, like some of the deer they name me like latte or like I don't know, like small. Not every of them, but I would say 1/3 of them.
This script and this production, actually, it has won you a prestigious award. And how do you feel about that?
Very honored and surprised. You know, when I studied in New York for 3.5 years, and only 2 of my classmates who their shows actually got into Sundance. When they got into like this, it's just such huge news for the school and for everyone. So having a chance to screen my film, also win an award, just like unrealistic.
What an achievement, but we can certainly hope to see more of your projects coming up, right? And are you working on anything else? Can you talk about that?
I just finished the post-production of my next short, and after Toto, I actually spent a year in a deer farm, just living with the farmers and experience. So I actually make another short in a deer farm. Like Toto is a fictional one, and I make another short documentary, another hybrid, like a mix of fictional and documentary short there. It's based in the same environment, but completely different approach, different kind of like my creative work. So very excited to show that. After these 3 shorts in deer farm, I think I'm definitely moving out of the farm, and I started to prepare for my next short.
You majored in business back in college, and now you're switching to a completely new career as a filmmaker. Does your family support this? How do you feel about this transition?
When I was about to go to Columbia and study film, I actually lied to my dad. I say to him that I'm going to study MBA or marketing at Columbia University because we fight too much, and he couldn't let me to pursue what I want to do. But I mean, he has his own points and reasons. I think nowadays, gradually he knows what I'm doing, but still he want me to treat film as a hobby, since it's a very like unstable work. So I think it's like a process of fighting and communicating. I invited my dad to the premiere of Toto. Honestly, he didn't say too much. He just focused on the performance of my Q&A on stage. He thinks that I should be more open-minded and not to be too shy. But in terms of the film itself, he didn't talk too much. That's how he usually react.
Well, that is a journey in the past, but now you've moved on to bigger and better things. And then I think winning the Sundance Asia Short Film Festival is really a big step toward the next, and then giving your parents an idea of what you're doing, what you could achieve.
It's still very hard, but that's what I want to do, so no complaints.
Thank you for your honest account of your experience and stories, and we wish you all the success in your next endeavors. And thank you for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed our show, please like and subscribe to Taiwan Plus for more.